Welcome to part 3 of my hike through Hurd State Park. In part 1 of this video, I hiked from Hurd State Park over to the neighboring George Dudley Seymour Park, went all the way around, up a mountain, and back down and around again. In part 2 of this video, I hiked around Hurd State Park, went along the shore of the Connecticut River, circled around the perimeter, all the way back around to the car. And now in part 3 of this video, I've moved my car over and I'm going to wind around on the trails in the interior of Hurd State Park to show you as much as I can, because there's some fun to be found in here. All right, and we're off part 3 of this video. From the parking lot, we were here before. We hiked up here, and in fact, I missed videoing a herd of deer that went by. That's where this happened. So it's before we went down to the park road over to George Dudley Seymour. But I'm taking a different interior trail, and I'm going to go to these cliffs over here, which is pretty fun. You'll see. And check that out. Love me a good tree. So I thought it might be fun, since I talked about treadmill training and backpack gear in the first 2 videos, that in this one I'd just go back to the basics of why am I hiking the Appalachian Trail anyway? Where did that idea come from? And the answer is, about 5 years ago, I was walking, I had a different dog, and I was walking with him on the airline trails, and we were building up miles at a time, and I had a little over-the-shoulder backpack, and we started going so far that I had to pack a bunch of stuff, snacks, water bottle, little water bowl, goodies for the walk. But hold that thought, because look what we're going up. We're almost to the surprise. Well, the first surprise. Look at this. We're at the top of the cliffs. Let's see if I can get you just a little bit closer. Ta-da! All right, turning around. Continuing on the trail, going back down. So what was I saying? Oh yes, so around that time that I was just over the shoulder backpacking with my dog, I tuned into some kind of sitcom. I can't even remember what it was, but a bunch of women were throwing on these huge backpacks, and they went out onto the PCT and they all fell down because the packs were too heavy and they were exhausted within like 3 minutes, and it was just really, really funny. And they made a reference to Reese Witherspoon in Wild. I didn't know what that meant, but as it turned out, that came up 2 more times that week. Reese Witherspoon, Wild, PCT. So from there I did a Google search, and I ended up watching a YouTube video or binge watching YouTube videos of a thru hiker who had completed the PCT, and my husband and I watched them and we were enthralled. And then we followed to watch the AT, Appalachian Trail, and CDT, and he convinced me that we should do the Appalachian Trail first because, oh, look at this water. You know me, I love water. The Appalachian Trail first because it's closer to home, being in Connecticut, and also because there's a lot of trail support, so we could get really good at hiking before we challenged ourselves to a PCT, which is a little more on your own. Originally, our plan was to hike the Appalachian Trail together in 2030. That's his retirement year. But my retirement year came sooner. And I thought, what am I going to do? Sit around here looking at stone walls all the time? Sure. I love stone walls. And I love stone wall crossings. But then I decided I really need to go out there and do this on my own. And walk the plank. And then later, I'll do it again with him in 2030. And then after that, we'll do the PCT, and then the CDT, the Continental Divide Trail. alongside more stone walls. Look at this happy little doggy. We've come into some pretty good cloud cover during this hike. It had started out pretty sunny and blue, but all these stone wall crossings are going to make up for that. It's actually a beautiful day. So basically it was this coincidence in quotes, of the PCT and Wild coming up 3 times in 1 week for some reason, and me following through and checking out some thru hiker videos and going, what? I had no idea people did that at all. I never heard of anyone thru hiking the Appalachian Trail. I would have done this a long time ago. I probably would have done it in my 20s, maybe even my 30s. But now I'm going to do it when I retire, which is kind of nice because the trip's paid for. The retirement fund is there. Look at this nice little green spot in the middle of the woods. I'm going to climb up this little rock stair right here. Oh, look at, he just cheated. He skirted around to the right. Ugh. That's so tricky. Now, while it may seem that the best thing you're seeing out here are stone wall crossings, I assure you there's more to come. The cliffs weren't the only thing. Look at this. Stepping stones. That's awesome, right? Another stone wall crossing. There's more good stuff, I promise. Don't leave. Don't leave. Don't skip the middle. I will say I tend to see more cyclists in these interior trails than hikers. I saw one earlier today. It's a weekday though. I bet you there's more here on the weekend. Look at this, another plank walk. Stay with me. There's even more good stuff ahead. Check out this beautiful green trail. Nothing else has come in yet, but this ground cover, whatever these plants are, make it so pretty out here. Okay, here comes the little climb. Set up some rocks. It's about to get fun, or more fun. Look at that up ahead. See what we're heading for? Woohoo! This is more steeper in person. It's gonna take some good effort to, this is like straight up, which is normally pretty easy, but trekking poles, camera, dog. Here's another one. I would actually turn and climb left there, but it's a lot to do with this much going on at once. So I'm gonna follow the easy trail up. And here we go. This is the tippy top. The moment we've been waiting for. Ta-da! Good boy. All right, time to head back down. Aw, don't worry, the fun's not over. Climbing down more rocks. We have to take the same trail out, but at some point here I'll be going on to some new interior trails. There we go. Look at what I found. I was hoping to bump into this because I knew it was out here somewhere, but I haven't seen it in years. I found it. Let's walk on a bald. It's a really fun place to have a trail. I'm not going to speed this up. I'm just going to slowly walk through this footage so you can enjoy it. I'll be quiet now. How much fun was that, right? And now we'll walk along a nice stone wall because it's one of my favorite things. I'm always looking in there because I want to find a snake skin this summer to put into my hiking journal. And that's where they're going to be. But in the meantime, plank walk and a stone wall crossing. Check this out on the side here. What is that? some kind of ruins. There are giant, look at this. Look at these outcroppings up here. You know, I would hike up them, but I don't want to do it with a backpack and a puppy and a camera. But I'm going to come back. Maybe I'll make a short of me running up there to see what the deal is, because that looks like a fun place to go. All right, we're back at the green where the pavilion is situated. Yep. And I warned before about off-leash dogs, and there is one here, but the people ran over and leashed him, and they did tell me he was friendly, and then we ended up chatting for a while. So they actually ended up being very responsible dog owners. Friendly dog off-leash, but they leashed him as soon as they saw me coming. Not like those people in part 2. Check it out, we're at the end. The duck car.